reviewing this part of it, I'll just show you a couple of more things which are there in your interface so that you gain idea. Now, once you open the articulate, then you would also see there is a button over here. Here, this double dock button. Can you see dock, undock?
Yes.
Yeah. Click on it, then you will be able to undock the trigger panel. See here. I can also extend it like this. Yeah. Likewise, you can undock your timeline also. See here, I've undocked the timeline also. Yeah. I'll go to close and dock it back and say undock. See here, timeline undock. This is a timeline mentioned. Likewise, you can also undock your scenes. Let me click on this also. So I have, so you can see now 3 things I am able to undock it. Why do we do it? Usually, if you have a multiple screen, let's say you have one big monitor and you have another monitor, especially as a e-learning developer, often we use the multiple monitors so that it'll be easier for us. Then you can keep these undocked one in one monitor and you can have the entire slide in a little bigger size. Like this is my slide. So I can view it properly. So for that purpose, often we can undock it. Now you can dock it back by clicking on this. You redock it. There we go. It goes back. Redock it. It goes back. You redock it. Goes back. So towards your right hand side, you will have triggers, which are super, super important. The bottom of the slide, you will have your timeline and states and notes, in which timeline and states are super important. And towards your right, left hand side, you will find the scenes. And each scene will have slide. And you will also have a story view button over here. Okay. That's what basically this section is all about. You can change the zoom level also by press the control button from your keyboard and use the cursor, the scroll of your mouse. You can increase the zoom. See here, I'm zooming in and I can also zoom out. You have to keep pressing your control button. And this is how you can control. The same thing we do it in a PPT also. If you see, let me open a PowerPoint. We follow the same process. Okay, just blank, see here. Zoom in and zoom out. Here, zoom in and there we zoom out. Same process, we are following it over here also. So some of these shortcuts, I'll be giving you the copy of those shortcuts also. There are a couple of shortcuts, those who are fond of doing, you can perhaps kind of review them, which will help you. Keyboard shortcuts, basically, I'm referring over here. Yeah, so you can add a new slide from the content library. How do you do it? I want you to do it with me. But first, let me demo you and then you can do it. Right? So you can go to your insert tab and then you can click on, this is where you will be finding a lot of things, your character, your photograph, illustrations, etc. You'll have slide layers and all that option. So what we can do, we can go to I'll show you 2 options. One is you can import slide and second, you can obtain it from the content library. That could be the alternative option which is available to you, right? So let's say, yeah, your content library is uploaded, opened, and you can choose the velocity. Velocity is the one which is available in your free with your trial version. However, if you go down, see here, Essence and other Vitality, etc., then you have to have a subscription. That's why this lock button is appearing. If you see a subscription required, this lock button. If I say scroll down, all will be with a lock button, subscription required. You won't have it in your perpetual license. Synergy also we have a subscription. So all are basically below. So what can we do? We can import some of the or all of the velocity slides which are there in place, right? So how do you launch this? You click on this control, shift and M. So your content library will appear. Are you all with me? Okay. And then choose the relevant slide. Let's say I'm choosing it now over here. Welcome slide section. These are the one. A few of them I can choose. I can choose all of them also if you wanted. All of them is still here. The velocity series from here to here. Chosen all. Everybody? You can edit all the slides. All the slides are with the relevant triggers. We can edit the triggers also. And then click on insert button. Please do it. And then it's getting inserted. Just going to take a while. I shouldn't have inserted it over here. Maybe I could insert it elsewhere. Yeah, so you can see now it got inserted. Of course, this particular text font is not there in place. So you can see all that entire velocity series over here. It's got inserted over here. Can you see it in the scene? I'll just show you from the story view here. This is what we inserted just now. Just show you once again here. See these dark two slides, welcome and section, and then the remaining all these slides till here, exit button, it's inserted over here. Yeah. Now what you can do, you can go to the relevant slide and you will find usual triggers which are mentioned. You can edit it. Each of these objects which are there, we can edit it accordingly. So this is how you can obtain the slides from the content library. I hope it's clear, people. So I'm just doing it in a new file. Let me see, don't save a new. So I want you to open a new file like this. Okay. And then open the slide and go for the shortcut, which is your Control Shift M. So your content library will launch. Everybody with me? Together, Control Shift M, your content library will open. That's a shortcut to the content library. Yeah, alternatively, what you can do, if you don't want to do it this way, then let me close this and open a here and articulate 360. I'm just opening from the beginning. Yeah, and then you will have options from importing. At this moment, we are not importing, we are taking from the content library. Yeah, so you can see import story template if you already have it, PowerPoint or anything. Instead of all this option, we are taking to the new project. You come over here and then you open the content library. And then from content library, I have selected all these slides till the exit and I imported it. You can do from your existing course also, from PowerPoint also. Yeah, people very able to do, everybody. Right. Now I want you to create a new scene. What you do to create a new scene, you just right click and say new scene. Come to your story view and then right click and then new scene. With me? Are you all with me? Okay. Open the new scene and then come to your you can come to your file and click on the import. And this time you import from the PowerPoint. So instead of file, so what I can do, I can import from the PowerPoint by going to the, let's say, relevant course. I'm going to the relevant file, which I can import. Let's say I'm going to import this one and say open. You just choose the relevant PowerPoint, whichever PowerPoint you want to import. So I'm importing this one and say open. Now, the moment you do so, just see what I am doing and then you can do it later. Okay, later means now only after this is seeing the demonstration. Choose the relevant slide. All slides are by default selected. I can say none and choose a relevant slide. Or I can select all at one go and say import. The amazing part of articulate storyline is that it almost imports as it is there in PowerPoint. Many of the things are almost in the editable format, except there'll be some time where you will have an issue where it just imports as an entire object together like a picture. But most of the time, we don't face that kind of an issue. Just going to take a few seconds, depending on the size of your PPT, to import. So if you have done some PPT, then you can import that to articulate, and then you can make a lot of edits by adding some triggers to add interactivity. So right now, just importing, still importing our files. Meanwhile, you can start doing, perhaps by the time it will be imported, you can do, you absolutely do. If you don't have a PPT, then I'll give you another solution. You can go to your PowerPoint, yeah, and just open the PowerPoint, let's say from here, PowerPoint. Are you following me? Over here, I'm showing you. And then go to more theme over here towards your extreme right-hand side, more themes. Can you see that? On that, and just choose one any. Let's say I go to business, and this I'm going to choose this one deck, let's say annual review, and say create. Okay, do that. And then we created, this is a template, and just save it. Save it somewhere. Just save it, let's say somewhere on your desktop, maybe annual review, save it. That's it. Then after that, do the same process which I followed just now. It's still happening for me. I'm just wondering why it's taking so long. Usually it doesn't take a very long time, but again, depends on. So you don't have to create PPT. You can take it from the existing template of PowerPoint just for the demo purpose so that you gain familiarity with how you need to import file. Anybody got any doubt? Were you able to import the velocity? Were you able to import the PowerPoint? For me, it's still importing. Depends on your file size and number of slides, etc. It'll import accordingly, but it's just appearing now. You can see toward in your scene. Under your story view, you have seen, and each slide is now appearing, almost getting done. And as I told you, the interface will be almost the same. See here, all the entire set of slides are imported. It's not necessary you should create PPT and then the storyline. I'll rather say, please work on the storyline directly using your storyboard. But perhaps those who wanted, they can do it this way. So you basically have right now, I'm just going to remove this off. We have two things. One is we have the, let me delete this slide also. We have two things. One is you imported the velocity. Second, you have the PPT over here. Right? So if I just open it, you will be able to see all that things here. These are editable boxes. This is also the text boxes. That is what we wanted. And the moment you open this, can you see your timeline? A lot of things are getting already, it's been inserted by the story line in your timeline. See, this is your timeline. Depending on your what kind of PPT you have it, but you will have all these, each of these vector being inserted, each of these text boxes which are inserted. There's no trigger because triggers we have to set. PPTs doesn't have trigger, but automatically the beauty of it is what I really love is your, if you import anything in your timeline, everything is automatically getting inserted because we will be setting triggers on each of it or different items, objects of it. Each thing on your slide, whatever you see it in your slide, these are objects. This is an object. This is an object. This is an object. Each one of it is an object. Now, each of these objects, which are text boxes, are editable. So let's say I don't want this image, I want some other image. You can grab it from your content library or from the Google itself directly. So perhaps I'm retaining this at this moment. So triggers can be set on this also accordingly. I'll show you how that can be done. But at this moment, is it clear the importing part of it? All right, so let's now apply some kind of little bit of triggers so that it can help. So you can see if you go to your story, you will be able to see this is a flat course. What we try to create is a little bit of branching. In fact, we will be creating courses from the beginning. This is, I'm showing you so that you gain an idea that even if you don't have something from the scratch, you can use an existing template and edit it. For example, if you see this template also, there's objects because each of these are objects on the slide. And there's a basic trigger, which is basically the next button. These are player triggers. It means these are default triggers. So if I come to this one, which I imported, I can set a now trigger. This is my title course page, and then you have course outline, and then these are the modules, so your lesson one, then you have your, let me see if I have a lesson two over here. Yes, I have lesson two. That's slide number 2.6. And then you have your, let me see if I have any other lesson. Give me a moment. So I have 2.6, our lesson three, and I have lesson one in 2.3. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, um, I'll make it lesson two, let's say. Okay. Yeah. Now I can set a trigger. Maybe this can help you to understand how you can create a branching of a particular course. So you can all check out how we can do it. We come to the slide where we want to set the trigger. Okay. So this is a button. Let's say this is a button. It'll be always good to create a button at this moment. This is like a text box kind of thing, which is one lesson one text box. Okay. So we can name it text box. You can rename it. Please follow my cursor. Lesson one. Yeah, and then this is text box. This is lesson two. I'm just renaming them so that'll be convenient for me when I'm trying to set the trigger. So what we do, we come to the text box, lesson one, and then this is watch out. Where is our lesson one slide number? 2.4. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep that in my mind. And then I'm going to go to the lesson one, this text box. See, this text box is selected. Can you see that? This is selected. Yeah, come to the trigger. Yeah. So what do? You jump to a particular slide. Which slide? Instead of next slide, it will go to your 2.4. I think it was 2.4. So I scroll down a bit and come to 2.4, lesson one. So when it happens, when user clicks on the text box lesson one, which we renamed it just now. Just now we renamed it, right? There were so many text boxes. I renamed it a lesson one. With me? Are you with me, guys? Can you see now towards your right hand side what has happened over here? I'm yet to click the button OK, but it gives me a preview over here. This red lines has come up. Can you see that? Towards your left hand side, sorry. So we say OK, this will be set. Yeah, like now, let's do it for our lesson two also. So select that particular text box. This is our lesson two text box. Let me go ahead and check out what's the slide number. It's 2.6. I can see over here lesson two, which we have renamed it. So I will come to the course outline, select that text box where I want the trigger to be set, and click on the button, trigger button, and say jump to slide, which slide 2.4. Here, lesson 2, 2.5, lesson 2. Yeah, and then when user clicks on text box, lesson 2. So from here, I have renamed it and say OK. Can you see further branching which has been taken place over here in the timeline? Yeah, so there we go, lesson 2. I can make it lesson 3 now. Let me keep it 3. Okay, so what's a slide number? 3. I can see it as a slide number 2.6. Yeah, so let me just go to this one and do the same process. But as what I can do now, I can also copy it. Just take the trigger, this trigger from your trigger side, guys. Now look into your right hand side of your screen, the trigger. Okay. Now, instead of setting a new trigger, this is a new trigger button. What I will do, I will select the trigger and click the copy the selected trigger, or I can just control C, whatever I wanted. So I can copy it from here also by clicking on this. Copy it and then come to your this text box, which we want to set the trigger, and say control V, paste the trigger. Now the same trigger is pasted. I'll just click on this drop down, the quick drop down. Yeah, which slide we wanted? I think it is, let me check it. 2.6. Thank you for telling me. So I'll say this one. Which one did we copy? I guess we did this one and say 2.6. Yeah, we have not renamed it. Perhaps I can rename it now also. So I could say that this 2.6 here, from here, this is this, this one. I can say this text box lesson 3. I can rename it. Automatically your timeline will get updated. Automatically your the trigger will get updated. Lesson 3. There we go. You can see now it in the trigger panel. This is the slide trigger. Okay. And this is a triggers which we created. See, object triggers. Yeah. See here, text box. Which text box? Let's say this one. We can set it this manner. So for text box 1, this is a trigger. Text box 2, text box 3. These are text box 1, 2, and 3. And the branching has taken place over there. In the red lines, you can see the branching. Yeah, so now if we preview this, we would be able to see, let's say, we have a summary. Okay, let's say instead of lesson 5, let's keep it summary. Let's say summary. Okay, so we have a summary slide also, I believe, a course overview maybe. So let me put it as a course summary just for demo purpose, guys. I'm just changing it. It's 2.9. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back over here, select this, and I will just rename it. I'll rename it for our convenience purpose, right? Okay, we took this. This is lesson 3, 2.6. This is summary. Okay, I'll just keep it summary then. And this will be your lesson 3. Okay, and our summary is on 2.9. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back, select this, and do the same process. I can create a new trigger, or I can copy paste. So I can say, let's say, jump to the slide. Which slide? Of course, we are talking about 2.9 course overview, which we have renamed as a summary. And then when the user clicks on the summary box, let's say, okay. So you can see now this another trigger which is getting added over here. This I will alter, jump to the slide 2.6 when user clicks on 3. All good, everybody?